Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Kanto Weekly Show, and we're here rocking in week number 14. It is the penultimate week before the playoffs begin, so it's a very hype week. And if you missed out on any of the other catch-up videos, because since we started recording back at the start of January, we have smashed these PIDA videos out. We started on week 9, we're now week 14. Tomorrow, I do believe week 15 is out, and then Friday and Saturday will be my remaining PIDA games, and then we've all caught up. We've caught up, people. We've caught up. Oh, the grind is real. The grind is real. If you have enjoyed the PIDA content, make sure to smash the like button down below. Be subscribed if you're not already, and leave some comments. As you do, go on the wall. Look at the wall. It's increasing. Look at that. There's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. There's 14 comments since I started back again. It's going to keep increasing, and hopefully it'll be good. But anyway, Kanto Weekly Show, week number 14, and we begin with, unfortunately, 3 forfeits again. 3 forfeits again, so there's less to talk about, so the video will be shorter, so it's a win-win, really. So, first forfeit win goes to the Hungry Big Boys versus Yoga Garchomps, who pick up the 3-0 forfeit win W. Next game is New Haven Nut versus the Boston Syndicals, and New Haven Nut pick up the forfeit W. And the Victoria Victinis pick up a forfeit W versus the Sugar Puff City Swellixers. So both the meme teams and the Victoria Victinis both picked up a W here today. So this week, so progress has been made. So with only 5 games to talk about today, we start off with the battle at the top of the table, where we have the Black Sea Curums versus the Sinnoh Starlets. And the Black Sea Curums are rocking Mega Medicham, Curum Black, Tornadus Furion, Magearna, Comfey, and Gliscor, whereas the Sinnoh Stars are rocking Zygarde, Sylveon, Volcarona, Hooper Unbound, Bishop, and Araquanid. So it's a top of the table clash. Whoever wins this game will probably finish out first overall and play whoever finishes 4th, really. Whoever wins this game. So matchups, obviously, Araquanid here with webs will slow down the likes of the definitely Mega Medicham. That'll be scary. Curum Black as well, and the Comfey. Obviously not Gliscor and Tornadus, but I mean, Tornadus is quite fast anyway. But he's got what's he got for a Tornadus? Probably I don't know, Rock Slide or Stone Edge on Zygarde, possibly if it's a choice to go off Zygarde. But other than that, can be an issue. Mega Medicham is always a scary mon. It's like it's top MVP for a reason. So if he gets the webs up, I think Hooper can just shut it down if it's -1 speed. So that's good. If Hooper's scarfed, that can also help as well. Magearna, he's got Volcarona for that. He's got Earthquake from Zygarde for that. He's got the Bishop for that. With no, he hasn't got the Bishop for that. I was going to say it's weak to steel, but it's not weak to steel. It's neutral to steel. Doesn't matter. Curum Black's always scary, but there's a Sylveon right there. Gliscor, there's a Ice Beam, Ice type move from God knows. It's also weak to water, so a liquidation is going to hurt it. And then Comfey is obviously annoying. So yeah, let's jump into this game and see how things pan out. So lead with Spider versus Tornadus. I'm predicting Sticky Webs. Go straight into a Sylveon, predicting a flying type move, I'd imagine. There's Hurricane. Does just under 50% to the Sylveon. Sylveon lives on 3% as it goes for Facade. So it's a physical Sylveon. As you switch out into Magearna, you go to Facade again. It was resisted hit because obviously it's there's a Flash Cannon from the Magearna, where Directed eats that up for days. Out comes Jupiter as it goes for liquidation, and goodbye Tornadus. So that is how you get rid of a Tornadus. You kill it with an Araquanid. Goals, right? So obviously I'm sensing memes from Sean for being a physical Sylveon. There's a Fusion Bolt from the Curum, predicting a Dragon type move, but he goes for a Lake type move as he comes for the Z. Tectonic Rage. Goodbye Bishop, and now there's Bishop out of the way. The outcomes Volcarona versus the Magearna, predicting a what was in? Curum. Why? If Curum Black was out, why'd you go into Magearna versus Volcarona? Because it's going to go for Fire's neutral, isn't it? Yeah. Bugs. Unless you're picking a bug type move, I don't know why you wouldn't predict him to go for a fire type move. I don't know. But Flare Blitz Volcarona just blows this beginner back. So, yeah. everything's rocking physical at this stage from the Sinnoh starts, but there's Batman goes for agility, it goes for acrobatics, quick. It lives liquidation. Goodbye, guy score. This Arachniid is putting in the finds of work. There's a draining kiss from the Fairy Ghost at liquidation, and there goes the Comfey. So Arachniid is not just here for webs; it can also hit like a mother trucking truck with liquidation, because obviously, water bubble, stab. I'm guessing he's choice banded, or I'm guessing choice banned for to Oko a guy score. The guy was quite. No, I don't know. But it's still it's probably choice banned. Probably choice banned. So out comes the Q and Black to outspeed it as it goes to Fusion Bot, I'd imagine, or just Dragon Claw, or just a casual Dragon Claw. Down goes the Arachniid. Out comes Volcarona. So it goes for Flare Blitz. Does 55% to the Q and Black as it goes for Dragon Claw. Goodbye, Arachniid. Volcarona. Out comes Hooper as it goes to Dragon Claw. Lives on 40% as it goes for Hyperspace Fury. Goodbye, Q and Black. And now out comes the Mega Medicham. He's probably going to sweep up with Fake Out. And then, ooh, it's going to be interesting. Zygarde v Mega Medicham. Extreme Speed does 52% as it goes for Drain Punch. So, yeah. If he didn't click Extreme Speed and click the ground type move, I think Sinnoh Stars won that game. Because it would have done more damage and you had 2 Drain Punches to kill. Unless, no, Mega Medicham outspeeds Zygarde, isn't it? Was it the same? I'm not sure. But if a stab ground type move would have done way more than a stab ground type move, stab would have done more than an extreme speed choice band. So I would have clicked 1,000 Arrows with choice band, and that would have killed it most probably. So that's what I would have went for. But anyway, it's a GG to the Black Seat Curiums, who have picked up that 1-0 victory. Obviously, Sean was a meme team. Everything was choice banded. Everything was max attack. Everything's probably max speed as well, or max HP, or something like that. But even with mono choice bands, it only took away the 1-0 defeat. MVP in that game was definitely Q and Black for the Black Seat Curium, picking up 4 kills and 1 knockout. But Arachniid wasn't far behind it with 3-1. Obviously, Mega Medicham swept late game. So it's going to be interesting because these two, I think, if these two finish in the final, end up in the final of the playoffs, then it's going to be a very interesting game because obviously Sean won't meme in that game because it's the final. He can win, be the first champion of Kanto Division PIDA, and get to franchise them on his team. So it's going to be very interesting when that battle comes around. So we'll see if that game happens, and it'll be a good one. So we move on to game number 2, where we have the Honolulu Hawluchas versus the Power Squad, coached by Nico. I think Dr. Kim is Nico. So yeah. So Honolulu Hawluchas are rocking Ash Greninja, Garchomp, Porygon Z, Roserade, Staraptor, and Blacephalon, whereas the Power Squad are rocking Mega Heracross, Scolipede, Mew, Zydoge, Snorlax, and Breloom. So, same principle with the Power Squad. Breloom is here to Spore, Mew and Scolipede are here to set up, to bat and pass either into Mega Heracross or Snorlax to win the game. Result. That's the point of this team. That's the whole point. So, Mega Heracross can potentially sweep if it gets some speed boost off it. So can Snorlax because it's just a bulky boy. So, see, I think that works out. Obviously, Honolulu Hawluchas have got Z conversion Porygon Z. He's got Technician hit Roserade, which can put in the finest of work. He's got the boy Guy Fawkes. He's got Staraptor. He's got Scarf Chomp possibly, and Ash Greninja. So it's a very scary team. So I think the Honolulu Hawluchas edge it if they can stop the shenanigans of Scolipede and Mew. If they can shut those two down early, an easy win. That's a very easy win. So, jump into this game and see how these things pan out. So, lead was Zydoge versus the Staraptor, or something Intimidate, as it U-turns out and switches out into, I'm guessing, yeah, Rose Raid, as it goes for Coil. So, Zygarde's gone for Coil. It's now goes to 1,000 Arrows. Rose Raid lives because it's a bulky gal. Goes for Spikes, as Mew comes out and goes for Giga Drain. I don't know why he switched out there. I don't know. Because 1,000 Arrows killed. And you outsped. And even if you switch out into Staraptor, you can still hit it because it's 1,000 Arrows. I don't know. Honestly don't know. But I would have stayed and clicked 1,000 Arrows and this Road Raid would have been gone. And that would have been result. But unfortunately not. So out comes Mew as it goes for Flame Charge. Rose Raid lives and gets a +1 speed boost as it goes for Sludge Bomb. Lives on 8% as it goes for Soft Boiled to heal back up again as it goes for Giga Drain. There's 36%. Rose Raid's now back at 45%. There's the Baton Pass straight to Scolipede as it goes for Sludge Bomb, which still does a lot, even though it's a resisted hit. There's a substitute off in the Scolipede as it goes for Hidden Power. I'm guessing Hidden Power Fire or HP Flying, I'd imagine, for the Breloom and the Heracross. So Scolipede goes to Protect as goes for another Hidden Power. Gets some more speed boost on as it Baton Pass out straight into Snorlax, who's at +3 or 4 speed. Hidden Power does nothing because it's a bulky Snorlax. There's the Sludge Bomb. There's the Figgy Berry popped. There's the Facade. Down goes the Rose Raid. Out comes the Staraptor. It's a -1 attack. It goes for U-turn. Does nothing. Goes straight into Blacephalon as it goes to Recycle. And there's the Explosion. And there goes the Snorlax. And so that is a interesting moveset. I've never seen an Explosion Blacephalon before. It was a crit, and the crit did matter because what Snorlax was on what? Snorlax was on 70%. And it was a roll to kill without the crit. A very high roll in the Power Squad's favour, but it was still a roll nonetheless. So that was very unfortunate, but these things happen. Snorlax is gone, the setup is gone. Blacephalon was the only way he could stop that Snorlax, according to him. But I don't know. I don't know if he had a fighting type on his team or something. I don't know. Honestly don't know, but the setup Snorlax is out of the way, so that's one threat down from the Power Squad as the Porygon Z goes for C conversion and converts it into a Ghost type. Dark type. Interesting. So there's the Extreme Speed from the Zygarde. Lives on 24%. It goes for Ice Beam. There's the Yachu Berry. Not enough because it's +1 Porygon Z, so it's down. Out comes Breloom. He's probably going to Mac Punch. Yep, down goes Porygon Z. He's now still weak to fighting, obviously, being a Dark type. Out comes Staraptor. Breloom's probably going to switch out into Mew at this point to sack Mew off. There we go. Brez the Brave Bird. I'm guessing out comes Scolipede. He goes for Protect to try and outspeed the Staraptor. As he tries to U-turn out, there's the +1 speed Protect. As he switches out into his Garchomp, predicting a Baton Pass. Nope, substitute. There we go. The sub speed booster coming out. There's the Baton Pass strand to his Mega Heracross. As the Snorlax Garchomp goes for Aerial Ace. Did not know it got Aerial Ace. There's the Mega as it goes for Pin Missile. This is doing nothing to this Garchomp. It's a bulky Garchomp for sure. For absolute sure. There's the Aerial Ace. Chive lives because it must have not got max attack, surely. It's quad 4 effective. And it doesn't kill from a Garchomp. I know it's base 60, but it's 4 times effective. Mega Heracross is not known for bulk. It's got some bulk behind it, but not enough for a Garchomp to come out and go, right, Aerial Ace, bish bash bosh. It must have not been max attack adamant. It must have been like max HP, max defense adamant or something. But it worked. Unfortunately, it went down because obviously it didn't do enough damage. But Raptor comes out as he goes straight into his Greninja, predicting a Rock Blast, which it does go for. So Greninja lives on 25%. As it misses the pin missile, that's big plays. That's big plays. That is big plays. Missing that pin missile. This thing would have been gone, and then it just would have been left to Staraptor. This thing outspeeds it. A Rock Blast would have... I don't know if it would be -2 at that point, so it might have lived the Rock Blast. But it gets the Ash Greninja off. Out comes the Scolipede, lives on 1%. It goes for Protect. Goes for Bounce. Hello. Goes for Double Tech. Misses. And he misses the Bounce. So that was very... Things are developing. There's the extra Sentry from the Greninja. As the +3 speed on the Scolipede now. So it goes for Protect again. Predicting the bounce, but he goes for extra sensory. Down goes the Scolipede. Out comes Breloom. He's probably going to Mach Punch at this point. Yes, so down goes to Greninja. Breloom is still out here versus getting the poison damage back off. Out comes the Raptor. -1 attack. There's a Brave Bird. Goodbye. Crit did not matter because it's quite effective. And that is GG to the Honolulu Holuchas, who brought some interesting sets. Some of them paid off, like Explosion Blacephalon, put in the work. Bounce Ash Greninja. When he's got 2 mons quad weak to flying, that's a good bring to bring. And obviously, what else was there? Garchomp with Aerolase for that reason as well. So he noticed the 2 mons weak to flying on the Power Squad team. Breloom, Mega Heracross. And he knew that Breloom would be a problem being Spore. So just wanted that thing gone as soon as possible to stop the setup from happening. So that is GG to both teams there. So Power Squads, I think, obviously they're not going to be here next season, most probably, from my knowledge anyway. So putting up a fight for these last few games, just like meme, I guess. They're semi-meme. They're not... They're kind of meme, but they're not full meme, if you get what I mean. They're not mono-electric, mono-levitate meme. They're just mono-setup meme. So, GG to those guys. Now we move on to game number 2, where we have the Boston Typhlosions versus the Mediterranean Quagsires. And the Boston Typhlosions are rocking Nihilego, Tangrowth, Alola, Holucha, Toxapex, and Tapu Koko. Whereas the Mediterranean Quagsires are rocking Kyurem, Espeon, Magneton, Delmise, Clefable, and Golisopod. So, Tapu Koko, Kokolucha's back with Toxapex, Tangrowth Core, with Nihilego and Alola as its other attacking options. So, Nihiligo's got quite a decent matchup for him, because it's being Poison, it's super effective against the Clefable and the Delmise, and is it Rock Ground? Yeah, it's Rock Ground, so it's weak to Golisopod and Kyurem. Don't appreciate it either. Espeon just shuts down the Nihilego, but Marowak is there for it as well. Tapu Koko probably could do a hard hit against it. So Espeon's quite good actually for the Mediterranean Quagsires matchup, being Nihilego, Tangrowth, and Holucha all weak to Psychic. And if it's rocking a Z-Celebrate set, Z-Celebrate Bat and Pass into like a Clefable or a Kyurem or even Golisopod, things could be scary. So jump to this game and see how things pan out. So first out's Nihilego versus the Magneton as it switches out into Delmise, as it goes from a Toxic Spike setup. Switch out into a Alola, predicting a Rapid Spin or Defog or something like that. Out comes Tapu Koko versus this as it goes out into his Kyurem. So good plays there by the Boston Typhlosions here. Picking up the toxic damage. Tapu Koko is now toxic as well. Why is Tapu Koko got the toxic orb poisoned? I don't know, Jeff. I just don't know, Jeff. But anyway, Tapu Koko's here with that. So now toxic. As it goes to Reflect, there's the Earth Power. Goodbye, Tapu Koko. Reflect is up. Is Tapu Koko support this week with Reflect, and he's got Toxic. The only reason I'd think to bring Toxic up in this league is to avoid Spore. That's the only reason why I would bring that to Vet being. It can't be paralyzed because of Tapu Koko. Can't, if it's burn, it doesn't matter because Tapu Koko is mainly run special. So that's the only reason why I could think to be running Toxical to prevent the sleeping shenanigans of. Nothing on that team shouts Spore to me rather than probably Sing on Clefable. So I don't know. Maybe it's for that reason. If you're watching and you know, just tell me. And Hawlucha's not missed Electric Seed. What? Huh? Why is... Maybe just... I don't... The way the boss and Typhlosions bring some weird sets. They work, but they're just... My brain can't process most of the time. So it goes to Hidden Power, HP Ground, obviously. Magneton lives because probably Eviolite. Out comes Gliscopod, predicting another HP Ground. He goes for Stealth Rocks. As Nihilego switches back out straight into his Tangrowth. There's the Aqua Jet. Does nothing because the Tangrowth behind a Reflect. And it's resisted. Out comes Hawlucha. As it goes for Leech Life, which does nothing. Because it's a Hawlucha. And out comes the Magneton, which goes down to Tangrowth's Stealth Rocks. Why did I forget the words for Stealth Rocks? Why? As Hawlucha goes for Agility, so it's now +2 without the Unburner boost. So he Baton passes straight out into his Toxapex as it goes for Calm Minds. And now his Toxapex at plus, as it goes for Liquidation, gets a crit because it's merciless. There's a Psychic. Goodbye Toxapex. Goodbye Toxapex. Out comes Nihilego. Straight back out into Tangrowth, predicting a Psychic. Yep, gets a special D drop, unfortunately, but it's things that happen. Out comes Hawlucha, predicting a... We'll just go for another Psychic. There's the Shell Bell coming off. There's the poison damage racking up. Out comes Nihilego. There goes the Sludge Wave. Down goes Espeon. That's a kill for Nihilego. Ditto's on 2 kills now. Out comes Gliscopod. Momentary exit. Straight back out again into Kyurem. So there's Sludge Wave. That's 3 kills. Goes to Critic and Beast Boots. Out comes Tarantula. Goes for Aqua Jet. Lives because it's probably got some bulk investment behind it. Down goes that. So Nihiligo's on now 4 kills. And these last 2 mons are weak to Sludge Wave. And they're both. And it's now ridiculously high attack. So it's 5. And now there's the Clefable. Down goes that. And there's a +6. Nihilego sweep. Now, potentially, if Clefable was unaware, it might have lived one. And it might have killed it in return. And also Gliscopod. This is why I don't like Gliscopod, because if you switch it in under rocks, it just goes, right, emergency exit, goodbye. You've taken chip on me, and you're going to have to switch out and go back into that. So, yeah, I don't really like Gliscopod for that reason. But, GG to Boss and Typhlosion picking up a 6-0 sweep. Obviously the MVP this week because it's got a 6-0 sweep, but you can't do better than a 6-0 sweep unless it's a joint, which there isn't. So, that's fine. So, Espeon was MVP for the Mentor and Quagseyes. If it wasn't on Toxic Timer, it may have picked up the W. So, yeah. Interesting game for both of these teams. Most of these games are like unimportant at this stage because obviously the green zone is pretty much secured, and because of dropouts and because of all these other problems which you do have early stages of the league, there's going to be no orange. I don't know if I've said this already, but it's going to be no orange zone, no red zone in Kanto this season because so many people are leaving and dropping out that we're shrinking down the leagues. We're doing all this sort of stuff. But I'll explain more about that in more detail in the final PIDA video of Season 1 in the end of that video. So, let's move on to game number 7, where we have the Wellington Ho-Ohs versus the Sydney Shamans, where the Wellington Ho-Ohs are rocking Donphan, Celesteela, Rotom Wash, Aselgor, Megazard X, and Tyranitar, whereas the Sydney Shamans are rocking Slurpuff, Mega Pidgeot, Tornadus, Vaporeon, Doublele, and Mandibuzz. So, obviously got triple flying types for the City Shamans, where he's got a Tyranitar and a Rotom Wash. So things could be interesting, because obviously Tyranitar's going to struggle against the Vaporeon versus the Slurpuff versus the Tapu Lele, unless if it's his usual set he brings, which is Assault Vest. Only Slurpuff can really touch it because it's physical. So that's the only problem. Mainly the only problem that the Tyranitar's going to have in this game. Megazord X is obviously Megazord X, so the likes of Tapu Lele can deal with that. So if the Wellington Heroes can get rid of that Tapu Lele early and prevent the Slurpuff from belly drumming up, they could potentially win this game. They can win this game. So let's jump into this game and see how things work out. First, leads with Mega Pidgeot versus the Aselgor. Switch out straight into his Tyranitar, putting a flying type move, which it does go for, goes for Hurricane. And by that damage, I'm guessing it's Assault Vest set again. Out comes the Vaporeon. There's the Stone Edge. It does nothing because Vaporeon's quite bulky. Out comes Celesteela, predicting a Wish or a Toxic or something. There's the Wish. There's the Scald. The 25% to Celesteela. There's the Leech Seed. And Celesteela does what Celesteela does. And just stalls out with Leech Seed. That's all it does. That's all it does. Out comes Mandibuzz, predicting a... I don't know what it's predicting. Probably an Earthquake, because I know Celesteela tend to run Earthquake, but U-turns out with his Mandibuzz straight into his Tornadus as it goes for Leech Seed. And there's the Heat Wave, does just over half to Celesteela as it goes for Toxic. So getting some heal damage off. He's probably going to protect this turn, predicting another Heat Wave. If he doesn't, he goes out into Mega Pidgeot as he goes out into Charizard to predict the Heat Wave as it goes for Hurricane, gets a crit. And Dragon Claw, Bird Jesus lives. Out comes Tyranitar, predicting another Hurricane as it goes for U-turn. U-turn out straight into his Vaporeon to probably Wish up again as it goes into Charizard X as it goes for Scald. And Charizard X goes down. And that is a kill for Vaporeon. There's Hidden Power Electric? I didn't say Alexa, I said Electric. Shut up. It goes for Leech Seed again. Celesteela does what Celesteela does. Out comes Tornadus. Toxic, already poisoned. You're already poisoned. There's the Toxic. Toxic Staller coming back up. Out comes the Assault Vest Tyranitar. There's the Heat Wave. Does absolute zero because Assault Vest Tyranitar is a very interesting set. It works. It works. It very much works. I've used it myself. I've seen it from the idea. So it's a good set to bring. So misses the Focus Miss, which is very unfortunate. There's the Stone Edge. Goodbye, Tornadus. And that is very unfortunate. Out comes the Tapu Lele. Probably going to go for Moonblast as he goes out into a Selgor. He goes for Focus Miss. There's the Sludge Bomb from a Selgor. Doesn't do a lot. There's the Psychic. Goodbye, a Selgor. Out comes the Celesteela. Out comes the Vaporeon. Gets put in the Heavy Slam. Doesn't do a lot of damage. Obviously, the Psychic from Tapu Lele didn't do enough to Celesteela at about 60%, just over half, because otherwise he would have stayed and clicked it because he would have outsped. And I don't know. If he probably calced it. He probably calced it to see if it did. So that's why he switched into Vaporeon here to eat up the Heavy Slam. It was obviously incoming. So as he goes for Leech Seed, he has to switch out into Mandibuzz as he goes for Toxic. Already poisoned as the Wish comes off against the Mandibuzz. Psychic Train's gone, so he goes for Knock Off the Celesteela's Leech Seed leftovers. So Mandibuzz now on Leech Seed Toxic Timer versus Celesteela. As it U-turns out straight out into his Vaporeon again. As he goes for Toxic. Vaporeon's now on the Toxic Timer, so things aren't looking rough. There's the Wish. There's the Leech Seed. It's things that lives on 1%. There's Hidden Power. There's 24%. There's Heavy Slam. Goodbye Vaporeon. And yeah, there's a defensive Beast Boost for the Celesteela. Out comes Tapu Lele as it goes for Focus Miss. Right. Why did you go into Tapu Lele against this? Because if it didn't kill with Psychic before, why did you go out into it this time when it was at higher health? And click Focus Blast when it's neutral, when Psychic would do more. Unless Because why would he not click Heavy Slam if he knew that you couldn't kill it with Psychic before? So you knew he'd live the hit, and he would click Heavy Slam and knock you out. So you obviously went in to try and scare him to click Psychic and go out into Tyranitar, but you didn't need to, because Celesteela just eats the hit up. Probably does what, 40, 50%? You're at 70%? You would have easily taken that, hands down, every day of the week. Even a crit would probably a roll to kill. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that play. If you're watching, let me know. But that's what I thought anyway. So there's a Heat Wave. The 61% to Celesteela. Lives the hit. There's the Elite Seed. Bish Bash Bosh. Out comes Tyranitar. Taking another Heat Wave. It just goes for Roost. Burbjuice goes for Roost. There's the Sandstorm damage. There's the Elite Seed damage. And there's a U-turn. Out comes the Mandibuzz. Slurp haven't even touched the field yet. There's the Stone Edge. Mandibuzz lives on about 20%. Toxic damage is stacking up. There's Toxic to poison the Tyranitar. Just go for Superpower. It lives because it's a Mandibuzz. And down goes the Mandibuzz as Tyranitar's now -1/-1 with Toxic damage. Out comes the Slurpuff. It goes for Belly Drum, which is very bold. Out comes the Citrus Berry as it goes for Iron Head. Lives. And it's probably going to go for a Drain Punch, I'd imagine. Play rough. Goodbye, Tyranitar. And now here comes a Donphan. As it goes for Substitute. It goes for Earthquake. There's the play rough. Lives on because of Sturdy. And Earthquake. I don't know why he went for Sub. Why did he go for Substitute? Why did he go for Substitute? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe he was predicting a... I'm lost. Why would you go for Substitute? Like, why? Why is the purpose of going up to that Substitute? You could have clicked Play Rough and brought it down to Sturdy and just died anyway. You just wasted a turn. I don't know, but let's make a Pidgeot versus the world. There's the Earthquake. It goes for Roost, and there's the Earthquake, and GG. So it's good play there by the Weatherhoers that last turn, predicting him to Roost. He was going to Roost because it was low health to try and prolong the game. So he clicked Earthquake and just went, yep, cool. I'm going to die anyway. If he goes for anything else, I'm going to die anyway. So we might as well just click Earthquake just cause. And he does. And yeah, that is GG to the Weatherhoers now. Picking up another win. So they're on their way to potentially coming first. I know I said, but you never know. There's still another week to go. It's very close in the green zone. So you never know what is going to happen. So we move on to our last game where we have the Pure Pidgeot versus the New England Blizzards. And the Pure Pidgeot are rocking Mega Scizor, Greninja, Silvally, Alomomola, Buzzwole, and Darmanitan. Whereas the New England Blizzards are rocking Crocodile, Chansey, Noivern, Volcanion, Scizor, and Milotic. So it's a battle of the Scizors. So, Mega Scizor beat regular Scizor. This Mega Scizor can... doesn't do a lot against this team, if I'm being honest, because Crocodile, yes, it can deal with that. Chansey, probably deal with that because it's a special wall, not a defensive wall. Noivern gets, I think Noivern gets Flamethrower or Heat Wave. It gets some sort of fire type move. Volcanion obviously can just blow it back. Scizor can't really touch itself, so Mega Scizor can't really touch each other. And Milotic resists the bulky gal resists the Steel Stab. But the Scizor on the other side of the field, on the other hand, pretty much the same wicket, can only really touch Greninja. Also, depending on the Silvally type, can potentially put in the work, depending on that typing. So, it's going to be a very interesting game to say the least. Both have Water Bulk, both have a hard-hitting fire type, both have a Scizor, Noivern and Greninja. You could argue about the same. Chansey and Silvally, you can argue that. You can't really argue about that, can you? You can't. You just can't. They've got some similarities, but not. You know, just all the same. Doesn't matter. So out lead with Chansey versus Darmanitan. Chansey goes to protect Scout, what Demanto wants to do, as it goes for superpower, which would have blown his Chansey back. So he switches out into his Milotic, as it goes to superpower again. Does 40% to his Milotic, and there's leftovers recovery, so it's not Marvel Scale, it's probably competitive, I would imagine. There's a parting shot from Sylvally, Sylvally Dark, I would imagine, judging by the colours of its things on the back of his head. There's a U-turn from the Greninja, as it U-turns out into his Sylvally again, as Milotic goes to recover. There's a parting shot again, since Milotic's now at... It's not... Hang on. Maybe it's Marvel Scale. But it's not... It's Marvel Scale without Flame Orb. Because what's its other ability? Competitive? If this thing was competitive, my god. It would be... My god. This thing's competitive and you've got double parting shot on it. It would be at +2 right now. That would have made things interesting. But yeah. Unfortunately it's not. But he gets a Skull Bone on the Alumamuller. Out comes the Scizor, predicting a water type move, I'd imagine. No, out comes the Valley Dark. Out comes Buzzwole, double plays there as he U-turns out with his Scizor straight out into his Noivern. He's probably going to Boom Burst or Hurricane his Buzzwole into another dimension. Out comes the Valley Dark, there's the Hurricane. Just under half of this thing, there's the Hurricane. Lives on 2%, is confused. There's the parting shot. Out comes probably Greninja as he goes for U-turn. Does not a lot to Noivern. Obviously, out comes a Alomola. Misses the Hurricane. Very unfortunate, even though Alomola would probably eat that for days. So out comes Chansey versus the Manatan. And there's Protect, as it's predicting, oh, look, Superpower, your choice Scarf and Superpower. Let me go out into Noivern. Or Milotic, there's the Buzzwole. Buzzwole is back. There's a substitute from the Buzzwole as it goes for Skull. Breaks the sub. Gets some leftovers recovery. Goes for Bulk Up. There's a Skull. Does he get the burn? No, he doesn't. His Drain Punch does... Even at +1 does nothing to Milotic. This is why Milotic is a very bulky gal. But gets the burn off, which pretty much shuts down this Buzzwole, to be honest. It bulks up to make up for the burn. I was going to say a smart word, but I can't remember what the word's called. I forgot. Oh my god. But yeah, so burn... So +2 burn is neutral. +2 burn is neutral. So he went for the bulk up to be neutral attack again. And the Milotic just goes for Haze and just shuts this Buzzwole down. So this Buzzwole's pretty much useless now unless he gets back up to +2/+2. That comes the Alomola as he goes for Skull again. Does 14% to the Alomola. As the Alomola takes some burn damage. Out comes Chansey, predicting a Toxic or a something or other. There's the Wish from the Alomola as he switches out into a Sylvally. As Chansey sets up the rocks, Sylvally's now back up to pretty much decent now health. So parting shot's out, which is what Sylvally does. Out comes to the Scizor, which is his the Toxic. Which I don't think it was a prediction. It just wanted to go into Scizor. But he Mega Evolves and goes for Knockoff. Volcanion, knock off its leftovers. Obviously a bulky set. Don't need to do that much from a Mega Scizor's knockoff. Out comes the Lomola as Volcanion goes for Substitute. And what's this Volcanion going to do? Steam Eruption does a third to a Lomola. It does a third. It's mad. I know it's resisted, but it's a Volcanion, for crying out loud. There's a Steam Eruption. I don't know what he just wished stalling this Volcanion, even though it's just sit here behind the sub. There's a Steam Eruption again. Gets a crit, does 52%. Wish. So Lomo is just going to sit here and wish stall this Volcanion as it... but he switches out from the behind the sub to try and kill this Lomola. So he goes for Wish again as the Scizor goes for Swords Dance. Now, things can get interesting in this stage, being a +2 Scizor. So out comes his Mega Scizor versus regular Scizor as it goes for U-turn. So it does absolutely nothing to Scizor. Out comes Crocodile. He's not Intimidate, so it must be Moxie set. Out comes a Lomomola as he goes for a Fire Fang. Which does nothing, because obviously it's a Lomomola. And Scizor Lomola is disgusting, because Scizors can only be touched by Fire type attacks, and Lomomola just eats up Fire attacks for days. It really does. Out comes a Scizor as Chansey goes for Protect. As the Mega Scizor goes for Curse. Now, that's not a set I've ever seen ever before in my entire life. I've never seen a Curse Mega Scizor. I learn something every day, because obviously you can curse because you can just bullet punch and stuff like that. It doesn't make a difference. instead of being +2, you get the defensive bulk as well. Because Mega Scissor is quite bulky as well, just not from it can take any hit, pretty much. It's physical. It's not a fire type move. So it's all good news. But Milotic comes out as you switch out from his Sorvali. So there's a Thunderbolt from the Sorvali. As Sorvali's going for Flamethrower and Scissor's gone. Scizor is gone. Out comes Noivern. Out comes Buzzwole. What? There's a Draco. Down goes the Buzzwole. He's probably sacking that thing off because it's obviously burnt. Out comes Greninja. Now Noivern's out -2. Switch out into his Milotic. As Greninja U-turns out into his Silvally Dark type. And Silvally goes for the Thunderbolt. Does nothing to Milotic as it goes for Scald. Does 20%. Gets a burn. This Milotic is getting burns for days. It really is. Parting shots out once again. Out into his big pink fish. Scald does nothing. Gets the burn. Out comes Chansey. Toxic. Chansey's now on the toxic timer, so things are going to get interesting now. There's the wish. Just two pink things wishing in front of each other. One's toxic, one's burnt. I don't know which one I'd rather be, the one that's burnt. Out comes the Valley. Out comes Volcanion. Back up to pretty much full health. Back up to full health with his Volcanion. I'm guessing a Lomola's going to come in right now. Yes, it is. As he's going to go for Steam Eruption. Yes, it is. Does 30%. Yes, it does. So we're back here again. Out comes Noivern. As Alomola goes for Wish. So Wish stalling is a thing on both sides of the field. There's Protect. There's Hurricane. And we're just going to Alomola. Oh my god, this battle is so stally. There's a Toxic. And it's pretty much most of the things on the New England Blizzard team is now Toxic. So Toxic stalling Alomola. Toxic stall. It's great to talk over Toxic stall, isn't it? It's unbelievable. There's a Hurricane. Does a lot to freaking Alomola. There's the Wish. Must be just defensive bulk behind it. Go down to Volcanion. Goes for Protect. Probably protecting the skull and just absorbing it. But Alomo's back at 61%. There's Steam Eruption. There's 34%. There's the Toxic. And if this Steam Eruption lands, it could probably take this thing out. But it goes for Protect. There's the substitute from the Volcanion, protecting the Protect. So Volcanion's now behind the sub with a Alomola at very low health. Out comes the Valley Dark as he goes for a Steam Eruption, I'd imagine. Yep. Lives on 20%. Volcanion's racking up that toxic damage right now. Goes for the Flamethrower. Knocks out the Silvally. And it's 5-4 to the New England Blizzards as Alomola comes back out again with Regenerator. There's the Steam Eruption. Lives on 13%. Goes for the Wish. And Volcanion goes down to the Toxic Stall. So Alomola picks up a kill there. So out comes Noivern, who obviously outspeeds and kill of a Boom Burst, but gets a Wish back up, gets back up to 69%. He's going to switch out into his Sizzle, I would imagine right now, to eat up the Boom Burst, as which it does do, and does 20% to Mega Sizzle because it's resisted. So it goes for Boom Burst again. There's the Roost from the Mega Sizzle, so Toxic stalling for days. Out comes Crook, as Sizzle goes for Curse. Probably going to go for a bug type move, or U-turn most probably. There's the Fire Fang. Lives it because obviously it's cursing up. Gets a +2/+2. Goes for Fire Fang. Misses that Fire Fang as it goes for Roost. And Mega Scizor is sitting comfortably right now. There's Fire Fang, does 36%. There's the Curses now, +3 curses. It's got 3 curses now. It's game over. There's the Fire Fang. There's the Roost. Back up to pretty much full health. There's the Fire Fang. Is he going to get the bird on a flinch? No, he's going to get the knockoff. Knocks off his Crocodile's Choice Scarf. As Crocodile goes for Earthquake, does nothing. There's the Roost. Mega Scizor's just going to sit here and potentially just win the game. Fire Fang to 25%. There comes the Roost. And there's the Bullet Punch. Gets a crit. Goodbye, Crocodile. Out comes Milotic. There's the Haze. Goodbye, all those stats. There's the knockoff. That's the problem with Curse. You can be outsped by Milotic. There's a Alomola as it goes to Recover. And now the bulky water types are on the field, and it's going to be here for a while. Scald, Toxics, everything's on a Toxic timer. Everything's dying to a Alomola. Things are so great. Out comes Noivern as it goes for Liquidation, Alomola. And Noivern goes down to Alomola, and Lomo's picking up all the kills right now. Out comes Chansey. There's the Toxic, so Chansey's on it. Chansey's obviously natural cure because it's been toxic before. So there's Liquidation, which does nothing. There's a Toxic, which you can't do because it's already burnt. So I would have traded the Toxic for Burn on this Lomola thing for days. So there's the liquidation. So we're just going to sit here. And he's just going to spam Toxic right now with Chansey. Which I don't understand. Because why do you not click any other buttons? I don't know. He's probably just, you know he's lost because Milotic can't touch his stupid fish. And things are just going to rack up. Lomola gets another kill. Out comes Milotic. He's just going to spam Haze for the rest of the game. As this Lomola slowly whittles down this Milotic. For days. Keeps on going, hazing up. Just, that's going to be the end of the game. And that is that's pretty much the end of the game. So that's GG to the Pure Pidgeots there, winning 4-0. So once again, most of, obviously apart from the game where the two green teams played each other, all the green teams won. That makes so much sense, Jake. That's a very in-depth analogy right there. But the MVP of this game was this stupid pigfish because it picked up 4 kills with toxic stalling. It picked up 4 kills with toxic stalling. So, oh my god. It's going to be very interesting when the Wednesday Heroes or the Black Sea Curums or the Sinnoh start to play this team because they have to deal with the bulk of a Lomola, Mega Scizor, and Sorvali, and also be scared of the threats, the physical threats of Darmanitan, of Greninja, of Buzzwole, and his other mons he's got on his squad. So that is GG to the Pure Pidgeots there. Good game, toxic stall. Oh, I don't like praising it, but it did work, so that's something, I guess. So we move on to wrong page. We move on to the table, and as you can see, in first place we have the Black Sea Curums in first place with 36 points. They're in second, third, and in fourth place, all tied on 33 points. And Winter Heroes and Pure Pidgeots are actually tied for differential as well, but the Winter Heroes are just above because they've got one extra kill. So next week's games are going to be very crucial in the green zone because if the Black Sea Curums lose, then if the Black Sea Curums lose and the Sinnoh Stars, Winter Heroes, and the Pure Pidgeots all win, then they're all going to be tied on 36 points, and it'll be down to differential. That would be wild. That's absolutely wild. So tune in next week or tomorrow, should I say tomorrow, to see what the playoffs are going to be in the green zone, and then we move on to in fifth place, just missing out. Literally, they're going to be a minimum 3 points away from that top 4 zone. It's the Victoria Victinis. Then we have the Power Squad, the Boston Typhlosions, and the Ottawa Garchomps, all tied on 21 points. Then we have the City Shamans and the Honolulu Holuchas, both on 18 points. They've got New England Blizzard and Sugarpuff City Squirrels on 15 points. Then we've got the Boston Cyndaquils, the Hungry Big Boys, and New Haven Nuts with 12 points. And then last place, we have the Mediterranean Quag's Eyes with 9 points. So, tune in next week where we shall talk about the final chapter of the group games in Season 1 Kanto Division in PIDA. So, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button down below. Be subscribed if you're not already. Leave some comments about, as always, of how to improve the series. If you're one of the battlers, how, why, explain sets if I got stuff wrong, let me know so I can improve as a commentator for next season. If you guys still want to see these, because I judge it by the stats, and if the stats don't lie, the stats don't lie. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!